Welcome to our Making Art Every Day sketch sesh. Every month for the past few months now we've been doing this. We do a little live session to just kind of introduce the theme for Making Art Every Day for the upcoming month and kind of give you some insights into what's it all about and how to approach it. And then we do a little drawing. I do a little drawing. You guys can follow along if you want, but it's like a completely kind of go with the flow sketch sesh where I just kind of draw in real time and see what happens. So welcome, thank you for being here with me. I first just want to introduce Making Art Every Day a little bit. Making Art Every Day is a drawing challenge that I have been running for the past 6 years. We're in our 6th year now, which is wild. And we have it's a series of daily drawing prompts, tutorials, and motivation to help you nurture your creative practice. We have a different theme every month, and then every week within that month is also like kind of like a little sub theme. But we have we have a prompt for every day of the year for you. So no matter what day you decide to show up and draw, we're here for you. So I'm going to just jump right in and introduce our theme for the month of August. So maybe we'll go down here to my iPad and I will show you. All right. So the August theme for Making Art Every Day is animal alphabet. And this is a really fun theme. I'll scroll down here to our prompts. This is a really fun theme. We've done the alphabet theme a couple times, a couple different years. And it's always so fun. Like people, especially me, really get into it. And it's a really fun way to approach your art making practice where you can focus on a certain theme for the alphabet. You know, for this time we're doing animals, which is really fun. And we've got a different animal for every letter of the alphabet. And it's a really great way to approach essentially doing an art series, which I'll talk to you about in a little bit, but I'll just talk about the prompts real quick. So every week for this month, we've broken it up into the different letters of the alphabet, and every Monday of that week, we have a plan and sketch day, because there's 26 alphabet letters. So we have a plan and sketch day, which is your day to kind of like sketch for the week, kind of make a game plan for what you want to do little sketches, or just whatever it is you need to do to kind of set yourself up for success for your drawings for the week ahead. So before I dive too much into that, I want to show you guys our drawing journal for this month. Here we go, Procreate. Okay. So this is our drawing journal, and I guess I should have mentioned that, but you can download it right here. This is makingarteveryday.com, and right here at the top you can download this drawing journal that I'm about to show you. Just click that little button there. And this is it. And we've been doing these drawing journals every month for this year, and it's something that you guys have really embraced and you've been really enjoying. It's really fun to see you guys use these journals. So it's just a guide to kind of help you out with your drawing practice through the month. The first couple of pages we included this time, just kind of like how to approach the month. And really I really encourage you. Like I always, with Making Art Every Day, the goal isn't necessarily to draw every single day. It's just to kind of make art and creativity a part of your everyday life. But I think it's really fun to get into the challenge of the alphabet thing and like really challenge yourself to go through with the whole thing and see if you can do something for every letter of the alphabet, because at the end you could have something really, really special. And that's exactly what I did when we first did this alphabet challenge back in 2020. I decided, we just did letters and you could do whatever theme you want. And I decided to do my kids' favorite things, and I was going to make it into a book for them. And that's exactly what I did. This was like, do you remember Jeff? Jeff is here with me too. This was at the start of the pandemic. And this actually, working on this book, which I have right here, and I'll kind of flip through it. Working on the drawings for this book was actually what kind of kicked off a lot for us, because I was working on these drawings for this book and the pandemic shutdown happened. And we're like, well, why don't we just go live? And I have a lot of things to draw. We'll just like start going live, you know, every day. And that's what we did at the beginning of the pandemic. And so many of you guys showed up to draw with me, and it just kind of like launched a lot of what I do now, is like drawing online and teaching and that sort of thing. So this was the one that I did in 2020, and it's a really special keepsake that I have. So it's a fun goal for yourself to go through with the whole thing, do all 26 letters, and then maybe even print it out on a book. I printed this, actually, there it is. I printed this one out through Mixbook, but there's lots of places you can print them out, and it's just like really special. I made one for each of my kids. So the 2 kids I had at the time, I was pregnant with a 3rd, which, there, he's in there too. Sorry, go back to it. There we go, brother. He didn't have a name at the time. He was still in my belly. So that's what I encourage you to do, but of course you can approach the month however you want. And this page talks about kind of like how to approach the sketch and plan day, what you can use that for, and some ways that you can kind of set yourself up for success with this theme. And then the next page is our actual prompts page. And so the way that I designed the prompts page to be used in the journal is for you to mark it up and kind of like use it to kind of plan out how you want to approach your month. So if you go into the layers, we have a little layer here for you to highlight your favorites, and you can get a color and get whatever brush you want. I'll just pick that one, and you can like circle the ones you're excited about. You can add notes for how you want to, if you want to try out a particular brush set or things like that. That's kind of what this page is meant to be for you to do. So I highly recommend going through that. But if you plan on doing all of them, I have another resource, which I'll tell you about in a little bit, that's going to help you out with that. So that's the prompts page. And then we have a little page for you to set some goals and intentions. So you can set whatever goal you want. Like this month, I want to do all 26 letters, or I want to draw once a week, or I want to explore this particular brush set or visual style, or whatever it is your goal you want, and then some kind of like actions to help you support that goal. You can write in there. We have our scrapbook page, which you can like paste in your artwork after you create it and have this little scrapbook of your artwork for the month. And then finally, we have our reflection page. And these are questions that there are different questions every month to kind of go with whatever theme we're working on. So after the month is over, take some time to reflect on your art practice for that month and answer these questions. And then you'll have this beautiful little journal, with all of your progress for the year. And if you've been doing these journals every month for the past, we're in month 8 now, you probably have a nice little documentation of everything that you've been doing with your creative practice. So that is the drawing journal. Definitely download that and check it out and dig in. And then the other thing that I wanted to talk about that we're doing for this month is in our membership Art Makers Club. So I'm going to show you that. We have a special tutorial planned in Art Makers Club called Creative Collections, Crafting a Cohesive Art Series. So if you go through and you do all of the, all 26 letters or however many you decide, essentially what you're doing is making an art series. And this tutorial is all about helping you plan an art series and what the process is like to go into that. And I have this really cool resource to go along with it, this art series workbook. And I'm just going to give you a little sneak peek of it. So you can get this if you're an Art Makers Club member. You can download it right now in Art Makers Club. But it is just like a little workbook that you can fill out right in Procreate, where you can set the goal of your art series, what the theme is, how many pieces you want it to be, the size, and just kind of like all those things that you have to think about when you're planning an art series. So if you're doing the alphabet, you could, I'm actually doing this myself personally. I decided to go through, I'm going through all the letters and I'm doing the animals, but I'm doing party animals. And I've been making these fun little illustrations with, I'll show you real quick, animals with like party supplies essentially. So here's the first one that I did. It's the armadillos bringing the appetizers, and the bison is bringing the balloons. And I did one more, there it is, the chameleons bringing the cake. And I'm going through the whole alphabet and I'm doing like kind of my own spin on it, because what I ultimately plan to do is to self-publish this as a children's book. I've never self-published. I have a published book, my Drawing Digital, my book, but I've never done the self-publishing process, so I'm really eager to like go through that and share my experience with you guys about it. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm using this guide to plan that out. And we have like a thing for you to do a mood board, brainstorming ideas for each piece, planning your color palette, places for you to do thumbnail sketches, and then like a checklist to help you with your production of it. So that's available in Art Makers Club, and I've been filling that out, and I'm going to go over all of this in the tutorial with our Art Makers Club members, but it's been a lot of fun using this resource to kind of help me plan my project. So that tutorial is happening on next week. That's going to be on August 8th at 4 p.m. Pacific. So if you're an Art Makers Club member, go ahead and download the resource and start playing around with it. And if you're not yet, I hope that you join us because we have a lot of fun in Art Makers Club, and we are in the last days of our big sale. So if you want to get in before the sale is over, it's a good time to do that. Do you have some dad jokes?
Last day?
Yeah, last day. Oh my gosh, you're right. I can't believe this month it's been an amazing month. I just on my Instagram posted like a review of the whole month, and it's been a really fun month. I hope you guys have enjoyed it as well. Okay, so this is the email that we send out when there's a new month coming up in Making Art Every Day. So if you're not yet on my email list, I definitely recommend getting on that, because that's where all the stuff for Making Art Every Day is going to be coming to you from. You can sign up at bardobrush.com/join-MAE. And this kind of talks about the month and how to approach it and all the kind of stuff that I went over. So definitely get on that, and you would have already kind of seen all this if you were on this list. But we send out an email every Sunday with the new week's prompts and resources and related tutorials and all kinds of fun stuff. So definitely get on that too. Okay, let me make sure. Okay, I think I went over all the stuff about this month. It's going to be a really fun month. I'm going to be sharing, my process of making my little book and stuff like that. So definitely follow me on Instagram if you want to keep up with the goings on of that. But for now, let's just get into some drawing. So I'm going to go into Procreate, and as you saw maybe in my little workbook, I have started like doing little thumbnail sketches of my different animals and things like that. But one of the ones I haven't done yet is the elephant. So I thought I would do some little sketches of the elephant prompt today. If there's another animal you want to draw along with me, you can draw whatever you want, but I'm going to do the elephant today. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and create a new canvas. Oops, I'll just turn it a horizontal canvas. And whenever I'm approaching something that I haven't drawn before, I've drawn a couple elephants before, but I always start with reference photos. So I'm going to pull up Safari and just drag it over here to the side, shrink that down. And then what's cool about the Making Art Every Day website is we have all the reference photos linked for you. So if you're sitting down to draw your elephant or your duck or whatever, you can come to this website and just click on the link. I'll click on elephant, and there's a Google image search with relevant images for you to use as references. And I think I'm just gonna like start sketching some. I'm gonna use a brush from my pencil box set. I have a brush called Sketching Pencil, so I'm gonna use that. And so I kind of I'm thinking about like what kind of angle I want to show the elephant, and I might like sketch out a few different angles. I like the way elephants look from the front, so maybe I'll just like draw it in a few ways. So I kind of see the head as this like egg shape, sort of like upside down egg shape, and then the ears, I don't know, elephant ears, they look like that kind of shape. I'm just gonna do a few little sketches. And actually, now that I'm remembering, I'm like, I have drawn a lot of elephants. Jeff knows this. When we were wedding photographers, our logo for our business was the elephants, and our little tagline was "Photos Never Forget." I thought that was really cute. So I've drawn a lot of like little elephant icons and things like that. but it's been a while. So I'll draw a little trunk. And maybe for this one, I'll just draw the head. And then over to the side, I'll draw some bodies. That's a good way to approach, you know, when you're drawing something new or you're not sure how you want to depict it, like just draw in a lot of different ways, just quickly. So there's a little head. I kind of want to get like, oh, this one's cute. I like the positioning of the body of that. So I'm going to try and draw that. So I'm going to do kind of sort of like an egg shape.
And what size canvas are you on?
Oh, I am, well, I usually do 2800 by 3800 by 2800 pixels for my vertical size. Yeah. Okay, so this little guy. So a little kind of like egg shape for the body. And I love the leg that's just kind of like out like that. But I'm going to do the head first because that's kind of like the next biggest part of it. So I'm going to do like a big, I'll start with a big circle for the head. And maybe add to it to make it a little longer. Sometimes sketching can get kind of messy. And I kind of ran out of room, so I'm just going to move it over a little. Okay. And then the trunk. Kind of this tapered shape. There, kind of curves like that. And then the ears. So when I'm looking at like the ears, I'm kind of seeing like proportionally, the ear is almost like halfway, it's a little less than half of the body length in this angle. So that's what I'm using to kind of judge like how big I make this ear. This is pretty big. There we go. And the other one's a little like foreshortened because it's in the background. So it's not going to be like as big as this one. So something like that. Cool. And then the tusks kind of jut out like that. So I'll draw those little part for the tusk to attach to, and then I'm gonna do like little cute tusks, kind of stubby. Oops. Cool. Okay. And then eyes. So the eyes kind of, you can see it like, I can see like a line from like the little tusk, this part, to like where the eye is. So maybe you draw it like that. Little eye there. And then this one is kind of on the edge of the head. And then I'll actually draw in the edge of the head a little bit darker. So it kind of goes like that, and then in, and then back out. Cute. I like it. This is like really rough because I always like start off really rough and then I kind of like refine it. Okay, so got my elephant, kind of refining the shape of the body a little bit because I see it kind of like it's straight right there. And then the leg. So the leg, I'm just kind of like drawing the bones of what I see, like where the bone would be. Not exactly, but I just like, it helps me get the angles and everything and the positioning. And then this one, I kind of like that, but then it kind of, we got the little foot that goes down, sort of like that. And then I can draw it thicker. But I am trying to like simplify it at the same time. I feel like, oh, I want it to like look like it's going that way. So maybe I'll kind of make it point that way. Okay, and the other legs. So the other legs are kind of walking back this way. And something like that. Okay, I feel like we're getting somewhere. Like that's kind of my favorite thing about this image is like how the legs kind of cross like that. So I really like that, how that's looking. And then this one is kind of going, I can't see because of that. Maybe I can, oh, wait, go away. There we go. Now I can see it a little better.
Christina was asking, Lisa.
Yeah.
Are you on your iPad M4 with a nano screen, and is it as good as it seems to be?
I am, and I have absolutely been loving it. I've always loved a matte glass texture on my iPad. Some people like the really paper texture, but I don't. I don't like that. I like it to be smooth. And like, this is the first iPad where I can just like open it up and use it, and I don't even think about what the texture, like on a brand new iPad, texture has always bothered me, like the glass. But this one I just right out of the box, and I never thought about the texture of the screen again, which says something. Like it feels so good and natural that I'm not thinking about it. So yes, I have really been liking it. What do you guys think? I kind of like it. Cute. Okay, so I've got like the rough kind of a rough sketch down, and now I'm kind of like analyzing it. So looking at the proportions of this elephant and the proportions of my elephant, and like the body feels a little bit too long for me. So at this stage I kind of like use my selection tool to fix whatever I think needs to be fixed. So I can go to the selection tool and select like half of the body like that, and then just scooch it over to make it, oh yeah, that's much better. Yeah, I like that a lot better. So I kind of can, you know, correct whatever needs to be corrected in this like rough part of the drawing. I really think it's so cute. I love it. Those big ol' ears. So fun. Kind of just outlining some of the little areas. Cute. And then I might also, I want it the trunk to curve more, so I can also like select half the trunk like that and just kind of put it at the angle that I want it to be. So something like that. And then just kind of smooth it out. That's cute. And then you can always like erase and fix things too. There we go. That is looking so cute. Trying to decide if I want to sketch another pose or just maybe kind of like color this one. Let me look at the images I see. I like this one. It's more of kind of like a side angle. So I'm just going to try drawing that one really quick. And this one has kind of like the dip in the back, which I see. So I'm going to kind of depict, I'm going to use, I have this method for drawing animals called the Beanie body method. And it's a tutorial that I taught in Art Makers Club. Let me show you it real quick. It's such a fun one. Let's see, I'll go to courses, and then we have all our past live tutorials. Like we have all our premium courses and then our past live tutorials. And it's this one that I'm talking about, the Beanie body animals. This is what it looks like if you're a member, but it'll look a little different if you're not in the club. But I do this little method where each of these little animals, we start with a bean and then we add on the legs and the head and everything like that. And it's just like a really simple approach to drawing animals that I use a lot. So that's a fun one from Art Makers Club. I'll go back to my Procreate. And back to my elephant images. There we go. Okay, so start off with little bean and then kind of add the legs. I'm gonna try and do this one pretty quickly if I can. I'm gonna try and make the legs even simpler than my last one. So it's kind of like a straight shape, and then I'm kind of adding the foot that sticks out to make it bigger at the bottom, like that. You can't really see the feet in the photo, but that's all right. We have a leg back here, which you can't see. So let me try and just imagine what that might look like. I'll draw a leg back there. And then this leg is kind of out this way, kind of curves down a little, curve it. There you go. And then, all right, I like it. And then the head, The head is actually like lower than the top of the back I'm seeing in this one, so I'm gonna try drawing it that way. So I'll start with like an ovalish shape and then kind of just like make it more angular to match what I see. I'm gonna need to move this elephant over a little. I'll just move it down. And then I like the trunk on this one a lot. I think that's why I liked it. Kind of goes like a little S curve. You can see inside the nose or the trunk. We've got like this tapered shape to form the entire trunk. The tusks, little tiny tusks, I don't know, little or big. I'll try that. And then of course our ear. Okay, eyes, tail. That's pretty cute, I like that. So there's another little elephant. And I know it looks like this in the picture, but I'm gonna make the ear actually stick up over the back because I kind of like to see the shape of the ear a little bit more. So I might actually even move the whole ear up a little bit. So I just like draw a selection around it and then just move it to where I want to put it. Yeah, I like that silhouette a little bit better, where I can see the edge of the ear above the back. So, and then I'm gonna try making the body shorter. Let's see if I like that. It just makes it a little like cuter to me. So there's a couple little elephants. I think I'm gonna refine this little one real quick because I really, really like that. So I'm gonna just, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw a selection around this sketch. And then I'm gonna pull up my copy paste menu by swiping down with 3 fingers. And I can choose duplicate. And then I'm just gonna like move it so it's here in the middle, bigger. That looks like a mess. But I'm gonna turn off this other layer. There we go. And then I can move it around. Okay. So if I want to refine this, I am just gonna turn the opacity of this layer, this rough sketch down. I'll tap the little N. And then turn it down so it's just visible. And then just sketch over it again and kind of just make it a little bit neater. I think I'm gonna put my references away and just kind of go my own way now. So I'm just gonna close that. And I'm gonna start with the trunk. And in this phase, I'm doing it a little heavier, not like less little sketchy lines, just kind of more thicker intentional lines. So just going over the lines in this phase. I'm just kind of laying out like what I want the final art to look like. These are the lines I'll follow when I color it. So just refining. The ear should maybe do that, yeah. And then this ear. Kind of got a little off there, so I'll erase, and then this also doesn't have to be perfect because it is still just a sketch. And then I don't like here how I did this, this little tusk kind of like in my sketch, they like line up together. That's what we would call a tangent, where things like line up perfectly, but it wouldn't really, it's just very distracting. So I'm gonna kind of maybe move my tusks down a little bit so they don't like hit each other, and then maybe draw the ear in intersecting like that instead of like meeting up with the end of it. Okay, I like that. And then that side of the head. So cute. And you can also like use the liquify tool, which is here in the adjustments menu, liquify. I use the push one a lot, this one, to like, if you're like, oh, that came out too big, I'm just gonna like make it a little smaller or adjust the shape or something like that. Now it's a good time to do that. So you can always do that too. I often do that in the sketching phase. And sometimes in the final art stage, just not too much. Okay. The little leg. Cool. Make sure that looks like it's stepping. All right. And then the tail. Oh, so cute. There's my little elephant sketch. Now, if I wanted to like just do a really quick version of coloring this, one way to approach it, so like there's a lot of, you know, if you want to do the whole alphabet and you're trying to do one a day, a good approach is to kind of just like keep your visual style to the more simple, you know, like be a little bit more simple with it, not like render it super realistically. Like you can do whatever you want, but if you keep your visual style very simple and streamlined, you'll be able to kind of get through your illustrations a little bit easier. So if I wanted to do this in like a really simple way, here's what I would do. I'm gonna reduce the opacity of the sketch, put a layer below it, and then decide what brush that I'm gonna do. I'm always doing this on the fly, you guys. So I don't have anything like planned. Let's see. I think I'm gonna do gouache paint box is always kind of my go-to. So I'm gonna choose gouache paint box. And again, this is a really simple, actually, you know what? I'm gonna change my mind. I'm gonna do basic toolkit. These are really simple. I'm gonna start with this inker brush. So this is my basic toolkit. I'm doing the inker brush and I'm gonna choose a gray color for my elephant. And then, oops, that's really big. Make my brush size smaller, like 21%. Oh, that's freaking out. There we go. And what you can do, what I would do is just kind of like outline the shapes like this. I do use different layers, so I'm gonna do the whole head on one layer. But I'm just kind of like outlining the whole thing like that. Okay, so there's the head. I'm gonna put this ear on a separate layer, but I'll fill that in with color drop. And then I put a layer below this one and do the other ear. Oh, that's not a closed shape. It filled the whole thing in. I gotta make sure it's like actually a closed shape here in my layers. Fill that in. On this same layer, I could do the body. I'm gonna do the body that has like the front legs all as one shape. So I'm just gonna trace around that. Like that. Okay, and then I need to make sure it's a closed shape here before I can fill it in with color drop. You can see that it's not. So I just kind of like outline it like that. Oh, not quite. There we go. Fill that in. And then these back legs I would put on another layer. And you'll see why I put them on separate layers in a second. Oh man, it's getting a little, I'm gonna unplug this. Sometimes when it's plugged in the charger, it does that little skipping thing that you might have seen it do. Okay, fill that in. Oops, I keep doing that. Look at that, not quite a closed shape. Okay, I'm good. And fill that in. Okay, and then this back leg as well. So essentially, like, my process is draw everything in flat shapes. So just like filled in with solid color, separating like things that are overlapping onto separate layers. So you can see I have the 3 layers. And then, oh, we need a tail. I'll do it on this layer. I'll do it on this layer actually, since it's kind of like behind the elephant. Okay. Good. Oh, that's good. Okay. And then I would turn on Alpha Lock, add a little bit of texture, whatever texture I decide. So I'm just gonna use 2 fingers and swipe to the right. And now Alpha Lock is on all these layers. And I'll just start with this bottom layer. And then I'll add some kind of texture. So let me try this simple shader brush. I don't know if that's what I'm gonna do in the end, but okay, so that one has kind of this like soft grainy texture, if I like that. Or maybe I use this coarse shader brush a lot too. How big? So if I want to add a little, this kind of adds texture. You can add texture and shading. So I can do like all over texture. Here, all over texture would be like a really almost just barely darker color than the color I have, and add a little texture like that. So you see that? And I could do that to the whole thing. And this brush actually is really nice because it kind of reminds me of like elephant skin a little bit. It's kind of that rough texture. So that's actually works out good. So I'm gonna do that on all the shapes, kind of just all over like that. Oh, I forgot this ear. And then if I wanted to come in and add a little bit of just really simple shading, I could use even the same brush and maybe get a little bit darker color, just a little bit. And just kind of like shade these areas that might be like right behind something, like this ear would kind of be behind the head, so there'd be a little shadow there. I'm not using any lighting reference, so I'm just kind of generalizing. I'll do these back legs here because they would be kind of dark underneath. And maybe behind the other leg like that. And then same here, just kind of like making this texture a little bit more dense and dark in these areas. And then maybe on the body, like behind this ear. So that would be on this layer. Just add a little bit to kind of show some separation between the two, like that. And then there might be some on the tummy a little bit, but let me see how that looks. But I kind of want the front of the leg to have like a hard edge and not the like soft edge of the shading. So here's a little trick that I can do. Instead of drawing directly onto that layer, I can use a clipping mask. So I'm going to tap the plus sign, create a new layer, and then tap that layer and choose clipping mask. And then now I can add that same kind of shading, but because it's on a clipping mask, I can like erase. So if I get like that inker brush I use for the shapes as my eraser, now I can erase part of the shading away. So that way I have kind of like the hard edge of the leg, which I like. And then maybe a little bit on this leg too. There. So a little bit of texture, a little bit of shading, and then a little bit of line work. So I would create a layer above all the other layers and get like a much darker color. I'll go like really dark gray. And then whatever brush I want to use to do some line work, this grainy liner is kind of fun. Let me see if I like that. Yeah, that one's kind of fun. So I'm going to do that grainy liner also from the basic toolkit. And then anywhere where I need to show a little more separation, like maybe on this edge, maybe a little too dark. I'm going to go a little lighter. And then the trunk kind of being separate from the ear. Definitely here and under here. I'm trying to decide if I want to do along the edge of the ear or not. I kind of like it. And maybe I'll do the side of the head as well. And we'll do here, but maybe not there on the tail. And then if there's any other like little details you want to add, like maybe some lines along the trunk. Of course, we got to do the eyes. I could do like a lighter color, like a almost creamy color, and do some little toenails on my elephant. That'd be cute. Little toenails. And then of course I need to draw in those eyes. Now, I could have made these toenails on like a clipping mask and then they wouldn't like, see how it kind of pokes out below, but it's okay. It's fine. And then I am gonna, you know what? It's kind of bugging me how this connects, so I'm gonna redo that one. I'm suddenly having deja vu. I feel like last time we did this, Jeff, didn't I have deja vu?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised with you.
I'm like, wait, didn't I already separate this trunk from anyways. We still need our tusks. I totally forgot the tusks. But let me get some eyes going. I'm gonna do really simple little oval eyes. A little lower. And remember the eye was like on the edge of the head, so maybe I'll draw it kind of like that. Oh, that looks weird. Trying to decide if it needs two eyes or not. What do you guys think? Yeah, it works. Okay, and then, yeah, that eye looks weird to me. I'll keep pondering on it. I'll add in the tusks. I'll just make I'll just put them on a layer right below the head and use that inker brush to draw them in this same kind of ivory color. Actually, I called it cream, but I'm like ivory would be appropriate because that's, oh, I put it on the wrong, let's see. That's on the same layer, so I'm gonna just draw it like that. Yeah, that looks good. And then that one. And then I'm gonna turn off the sketch. Always turn off your sketch so you can see if you need any more separation. Like here, I think we do need some more line work here. So I'm just gonna draw that in with my grainy liner brush. Yeah. Oh, he's cute. With that eye though. Sometimes you can just like, I'll put a selection around it and then move it around. See where I want to place it. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna let it go. I'll work on it some more later. But I think overall it's looking good. I might just add a color to the background because I love color. Trying to see if I want to do a light or dark color. Ooh, I love this like deep teal. Kind of goes with the Making Art Everyday color. We always pick a new color for like color of the month. And we did like a teal kind of color, so that would make sense. I'll do like a teal. And then I'll just add a little shadow underneath on a new layer. Just do like a darker version of that color. Just to help him feel like he's not floating. Or she. Or he? I don't know. Just the boys have tusks? I
I'm
forget.
not sure.
There you go. Little elephant. Cute. I am happy with that. This little tail needs a little detail. Just needs like that. There we go. Maybe we'll add a little bit there. Cute. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to call this one done. I'm really happy with how it turned out. And I hope you had fun watching me kind of figure that one out on the fly. And maybe you drew an elephant along with me. If you did, I would love to see it. Please share. If you're sharing your work on Instagram, you can tag me, Lisa Bardot or Bardot Brush. If you're using my brushes, that way we can see your work. I would love to see it. And I'm excited to see what you guys come up with for your alphabet project this month. It's an alphabet project. So if you aren't feeling the animals, like choose a different theme and do that. Like it doesn't have to be animals. You can pick literally whatever theme you want and like draw something for every letter of the alphabet. And maybe you'll even make a little ABC book like me. I'm really excited about that. So definitely head over to the Making Art Every Day page and you can see the full prompts list. You can get links to all the reference photos. And then down at the bottom, there's also some, oh, let's put that up on the screen. I didn't show you guys that, but, oh, where is my, okay, I'm just gonna go there. Oh yeah, I clicked through, anyways. Here we go. Underneath the prompts, we have related tutorials. So we have ones that are like some of the stuff that we're drawing this month. We have a few YouTube, and then we have a few in Art Makers Club. So lots of fun tutorials for you to try. And yeah, it's gonna be a fun month. So thank you so much for joining me today. Happy art making, and I can't wait to see all your beautiful alphabet artwork. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Happy art making. Bye-bye.